So you were saying, what am I doing? Weight stuff. With weight stuff. And I was saying, so what I'm doing is, Rob, I think his name, Rob McKinley or something from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right.
It was insane. He got crazy fat.
On the show.
For his character.
In real life?
Yeah, like he's out here. And then for the next season, he got himself crazy ripped. And then he put an Instagram post of, he's like, oh, it's so easy. All you have to do is this. And he stacked it up like it was completely unattainable. But it's basically run 3 miles a day. Don't eat after 7
p.m.
Yeah. Don't eat sugar. Don't eat carbs. He said basically don't eat anything you like. And then he also said...
Sounds terrible.
And then do weight training 6 days a week. And so, anyway, that's what I've been doing lately. So that's what I've been trying. But I've been incorporating intermittent fasting into it as well. Okay. So I don't eat from 7 to 12.
So you eat from noon to 7, and that's it.
I have 9 hours of consuming.
Consumption. That's 7 hours.
7 hours. 7 hours of consumption.
9 minus 2. We're really good at
Oh, okay. So you work at Pendleton.
Oh, do I?
What's that like? What makes Pendleton cool? I know that you guys license artwork from Native Americans, right? Is that like what made you guys? Is the fact that you do that and that you're like, is there not many wool companies? I mean, how did it get there? How did it get to a place?
1863. Thomas Gay started weaving wool in the state of Oregon, in Salem, Oregon. Fast forward 56 years, 1909, Pendleton is incorporated as a company. Officially, 1909 is the start date, but we say we've been weaving 150 years in Oregon because they were unofficially not a company, but still making wool products in the late 1800s.
That makes sense.
Which, 1863 when we started, was 4 years after the state of Oregon was incorporated. So we are completely in sync and in line with the history of the state of Oregon. So, been making woolen goods since the mid-1800s. 1909, company begins. Back in the day, right, 1900s, there's sheep rule. Okay, sheep rule the farmlands of America, not cattle. Later on in the century, cattle rule, because cattle equals more money, right?
Okay, so these were sheep that people brought with them.
Just farmers had sheep. Like when you drive around the state of Oregon right now, you see cattle or wheat or whatever.
But it's not like there were wild sheep. People brought them with them.
Yeah, like a shepherd.
Yeah, I don't know if there's wild sheep. I know there's wild horses.
Hey, Frank, you got that sheep that always follows you.
Wow. Oh yeah.
When you drive.
Okay, there was incentive to have sheep. Here's the main product, and then that became incentive.
There was a lot of sheep, therefore there was a lot of wool. There was a lot of woolen mills. A woolen mill is a mill where you take raw sheep wool and then you turn it into like this shirt, right? So my point is, early 1900s, there was a lot of woolen mills. It was a commodity, basically. But now, today, in the United States, there are 4 woolen mills left in the lower 48.
All Pendleton.
2 of them are Pendleton.
Who are the other 2?
One is Woolrich, Pennsylvania.
Woolrich.
And the other one is Faribault woolen mills in Minnesota.
Okay, so there aren't that many people that do wool.
So Pendleton is the longest standing player, the most iconic player, the best player, and the biggest player now.
I thought, what about internationally? Doesn't Australia do a ton of sheep?
Oh, yeah. Australia and New Zealand, they've got a ton of sheep, let me tell you.
Nice accent.
Thank you. Never even been down there, but... so, Pendleton stood the test of time.
So you're an outdoorsman.
I'm an outdoorsman. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how'd you get into that?
Well,
wait. First, how do you define an outdoorsman? Like, if I'm doing just, if I can walk down the street in a pair of tennis shoes, that's normal person. That's not outdoorsman. Where does it transition to outdoorsman? If I walk in the forest, shoes?
No. I would say the definition has changed. Traditionally, outdoorsman would be synonymous with sportsman. Back in the 50s, the 60s, 70s, when our grandparents were in their heyday.
Sportsman means you need to
That'd be hunting and fishing.
Have to hunt.
It's not so hard rules, not so black and white.
Right.
But outdoorsman, sportsman, synonymous. You know?
Sure.
Outdoor Life, think that magazine back in the day, maybe? Today, Instagram caused people to think that they discovered the outdoors, so there's a lot more people outdoors that grew up in the city, and they may consider themselves outdoorsmen. I don't think there's a black and white rule. So I think the definition of outdoorsman is probably more broad today. It includes more than just hunting and fishing. I'm a canoeist. I hike. I camp. Okay, I can follow that. To me, an outdoorsman just means somebody who loves the outdoors, who can survive in the outdoors.
So you said sportsman. Was the other thing that was synonymous, right?
Sportsman.
Yeah. So sportsman, you would say that term hasn't shifted over the years. You'd say outdoorsman has shifted. Sportsman hasn't shifted.
It depends who you ask.
Oh, okay.
Would Bo Jackson or LeBron James
you're in this world.
Would Bo Jackson or LeBron James call himself a sportsman? No, that's not the language of today. That a sports figure would not call themselves a sportsman. Sportsmanship? Yeah, it's an athletic term. So maybe they do. But no, the 1900s term sportsman and outdoorsman would be synonymous. Today, it's probably mostly synonymous, but sportsman might apply to athletics. Sports, balls.
Okay, but in Pendleton lingo, you guys use outdoorsman? Or outdoors person?
Outdoorsman. Yeah. Aimless wandering PNW hipsters.
It seems like you guys have quite a following on Instagram. Or at least your pics are pretty cool up there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, they seem hip and updated versus what the way that I see Pendleton is always, more historic feeling, but it seems like you guys are always looking for that younger demographic or something.
Yes. Other way around, they're looking for us.
Oh, okay. Because somehow you guys got on some stage.
Pendleton has always been known in Oregon because of its DNA there.
Right.
But it has always had some level of authority in the wool world in the United States with crafters. My grandmother, who lives in Little Rock, Arkansas, I didn't know this till I worked at Pendleton. She made all of my mom's clothing through middle school with Pendleton wool.
There you go.
In Arkansas.
So it's in your DNA.
It's my DNA. My grandparents wore Pendletons in Oregon. There's that history. But anyway, so baby boomers, let's say. Most baby boomers in the Northwest, probably most in the West, probably 3 out of 10 nationwide, I would say, based on various qualitative and quantitative data reports we have at Pendleton, have some level of awareness of Pendleton. It's much higher in the West. But in 2010, 2009, we did a collaboration with a company called Opening Ceremony, High Fashion New York. Put us on the map. It was like, there's like this one iconic picture of like a bunch of, I think they're teens. They look like they're on drugs. They're lying on a couch on top of each other. It's just
right. Something out of GQ or one of those kind of fashion magazines or
something like that
or something.
That was the first oh my gosh, iconic historic company goes contemporary.
But what was the Pendleton piece from that? Do you remember? Was it
Opening
like
ceremony,
a jacket, or was it like some weird thing that they made out of the wool?
It wasn't so much about one piece. It was just about historic, conservative, Native American inspired designs.
So it was a blanket on the couch.
No. Are interpreted by a designer into new, on trend or ahead of trend.
So the patterns
fashion pieces
on a bikini. Or what do you mean?
I don't know what it was like a shirt, a jacket, a girl wearing, I don't know what the exact pieces were, but the point was it was presented in a very new light. And then that put us on the map of the fashion world, which we're not a fashion company.
Or weren't.
Still not a fashion company.
Okay.
But then we started getting collaborations with big brands, Levi's, Nike, Hurley,
Star Wars,
Calvin Klein, Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, like just big brands, big.
Well, actually, the Nike stuff is pretty cool too. You guys are even in their shoes, for goodness sakes.
I'm not wearing my shoes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have them.
Yeah.
Yes. So then you go collab with the big brands. You piggyback. You piggyback off their audiences. Their audience gets exposure to you. So you get new young eyeballs or whatever their audience is.
Tell me about the Native American aspect of it, though. Like, how did you guys get connected with them, or what is that all? So early on,
I'm not the historian. I'm not the source of truth on this. But
there's some sort of leasing that goes on there, right?
I can't say.
Okay.
What I do know is, and it's a sensitive topic.
Okay.
Pendleton approaches the subject as everything they want to do out of respect.
Right.
Because there's a lot of history and a lot of respect.
So do you guys have to run your designs past some group or something?
No. So, I mean, we have a blanket design team.
Okay.
Which,
But you have to run the new patterns by...
No.
Okay.
So kind of the way it works is this. So here's the scope of Pendleton. A good percentage of the business is wholesale accounts. Mm-hmm. Amazon all the way down to mom and pop shops. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then you got 40-something retail stores that we own, right? Then you have a print catalog, people calling on the phone, right, from the catalog. They also order online from the catalog. Then separately, you have the website and web marketing. That's where I live. I do all the digital marketing. So you got all those components right there. And then separate from that, you have, that's kind of the main, like, direct consumer business. Then separate from that, you have custom blanket program, where brands and Native American tribes take either a napkin design or a CAD file or a design, and they hand it to Pendleton, and they say, will you make this? And they say, yes, at this price if you do X amount of units. It's got to be a pretty big order. But the Native American tribes, a lot of them have their own custom blanket that they design for their tribe. And so they sell that. We don't sell that. Now, on our website, we do have, some blankets that Native Americans did design that we sell. Mm-hmm. And a percentage of the proceeds go to the Native American or the American Indian College Fund.
Mm. Oh, okay.
So there's that. But that's only a small number of blankets, really, out of our whole product set. Most of the blankets, like what some average American might just say, hey, that's a Native American looking blanket.
Well, the Chief Joseph is your number one seller.
It's a top seller. It's a top seller for sure. A lot of those are what we currently call Native American inspired. Mm-hmm. So
makes sense. So it's just honorable historic artwork pattern inspired by
just
something like that.
Our design team goes down to Arizona or British Columbia, various places for inspiration trips. Take the geometric patterns.
Well, a lot of it is those geometric patterns, those almost rhombuses or diamonds or those kind of things connected up into a matrix.
What's a rhombus?
I don't know, man. I always forget. Isn't it just a diamond? A rhombus is a diamond.
I've never heard the phrase rhombus.
Really?
It sounds derogatory. What's a rhombus?
Rhombus is a diamond. I'm quite sure a rhombus is a diamond.
It sounds like Rumble in the Bronx. Rhombus.
You've never heard the term? Okay, what if I said octagon? Okay, so you like Pendleton wool, and then you're also an outdoorsman.
Oh, yeah.
And then you saw somebody else who was doing something kind of funky. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Well, so I started 5 years ago at Pendleton. Early on, I scoured the internet to understand the Pendleton presence. Right? Everything anyone is doing with Pendleton fabric. One of the guys I saw, a cool dude out of Idaho. His name is Chase Halland. He is an artist, makes all kinds of things, but one of the things that he made some time ago was he took a deer head not like a real deer head, but like what a taxidermist uses, which is like a form. It's like a shoulder mount form. So if you see a deer on the wall, it's a shoulder mount usually. Okay. And it's never the real body. It's just like foam, basically. It's a foam mold. And he took that and he upholstered it with Pendleton fabric. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So I had seen that, 5 years ago, something like that. And then later on,
I get a call that's like, hey, I like taxidermy now.
What's that?
And I get a call from you that says, hey, I like taxidermy now.
Oh, man, I've always been into taxidermy.
What was the first thing you taxidermied?
I've taxidermied nothing before this stuff, but okay. I'm into hunting and fishing, so I've always loved, appreciated taxidermy.
Okay. So you were...
A human. I did a human.
What are you talking about? You taxidermied a human.
I dug up a Neanderthal and then I taxidermied him.
Okay.
Lucas.
He's at your front door now. Great for Halloween. No, but go on.
Okay, so I had seen that in my past, didn't dwell on it much. Then maybe, I don't know, 2 years ago, I saw this guy on Instagram, Casey, what's his name? Can't remember his last name. Casey Underwood. Super talented artist. He draws digitally. I don't know what program that would be.
Sure, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. But anyway, it looks like, so he has prints, right, where he draws things. Well, what he draws is trout and salmon and steelhead. And his style is very unique. It's very consistent, so you can identify it, sign of a good artist, whatever. But, and it's really clean lines, fills it, lots of color, ton of detail. His style just stood out as unique. But he was doing these fish, people were loving them, buying them. And then he did one where he had the body of the fish be like an Aztec pattern.
Sure.
Geometric. And I was like, whoa. And then I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I remember the deer head I saw. Right. And so I thought to myself, I want to make a taxidermied salmon and upholster it with Pendleton. That's where I put 2 and 2 together there. Nobody had done it. I knew that Chase had done it with the deer heads, but to date he had only done deer heads. So I'm like, okay. Long story short, I did some research. I found the best taxidermist in the Northwest for painting fish. And
what does painting fish mean?
So when you get a salmon, when you get a salmon taxidermied or any kind of fish,
okay.
If it was 1950, you'd be like, "Here, Jerry," and then Jerry would take your fish and he'd, I don't know what they did, put it in formaldehyde, skin it, do all this crazy stuff, and use the actual fish. But that's not very efficient. No pun intended.
I caught that though.
Usually my puns are intended. Okay. Today what they do is a taxidermist will say, "Oh, you caught a big one, huh? Okay, send me a picture." They call that reference material.
Okay.
And then they say, "Give me the measurements. Length, girth, width, all that stuff," right? And then based on that, those 2 nuggets, they make your fish. And what they do is they use a resin body. It's a cast. Like most steelhead, most salmon are basically the same.
It's not a real fish?
It's not a real fish. No fish are harmed.
This is blowing my mind.
Yeah, well.
But I thought taxidermy. So taxidermy is really just the art of animals. It's almost like, because that's not actual animal. I always thought taxidermy was defined by there is a carcass of some kind that's being positioned here.
For big game animals, for non-fish, yes. Nobody.
But I'm saying that fish would still be considered taxidermy.
Oh, I would say most fish. Well, I shouldn't say most. I'd say a lot of fish that people catch or that people taxidermy were never killed. So, like, you catch a salmon, you're like, "Oh, it's a big one." Okay, grab it by the tail, lift it up for a photo, put them back.
No.
Yeah. And then
wait. Why would people not keep the fish and eat it? Or
well, there's laws, right? So you can't keep every fish.
Oh, okay.
So depending on the river and the species, you might be able to keep one native fish, but not one hatchery fish, but not a native fish. The point is, let's call it half. Let's say half the fish.
Sucks to get hooked for a photo. I mean, like that's brutal.
Oh.
I don't want to get hooked and put back in the river.
I mean, you pierced both your ears in high school. What's the difference?
There you go. Next time I see you, we're gonna put a hook in your cheek here.
I mean, salmon are the keystone species of the Northwest.
I'm just giving you drama, man.
I know that's all you do. Yeah, I'm not really worried about putting a hook in a salmon.
So, that's wild. This is wild. This is like taxidermy for hipsters.
Yeah, it's like taxidermy.
Way to make something a joke that did not need to be a joke, and you completely flopped.
Taxidermy for sample size 1 of my audience.
Almost like the flop of the fish out of the boat. Nope, not giving it to me. All right. See, I was doing that to even the playing field, so we both put a bad one out there.
Where were we? So
yeah, no, the fish are fake. You talked to that guy. You met up with him?
I paid him $200. I said, I know you're busy. A good taxidermist. Here's the mark of a good taxidermist. Hey, Mr. Taxidermist, how far out are you in business? In other words, how much work do you have in front of you? If they have anything less than a year, they're not good. The good ones always have a year of work in front of them, if not 2.
Sheesh.
In other words, like, here you go, Jerry. Here's my dead deer. All right, I'll have it ready in 2 years. He's a good taxidermist.
So a good taxidermist has, I mean, how do they keep that stuff?
No, they have it 12 months. They might have an assistant. They might be able to get you something in 6 months or less.
No, but I'm saying, do they have like 15 freezers on their property?
Oh, yeah. They've got like, dude, I paid this guy $200. I said, I know you've got 12 months of work in front of you. Here's what I'm trying to do. This is weird. You've probably never had anyone do this. Can I pay you $200?
Do you want a name drop? Who is this?
Tyler Ono, Kennewick, Washington. Awesome dude.
Okay.
Super talented.
Yeah.
Taxidermists are not your weird Uncle Rick with a wooden panel basement. It's not a taxidermists are artists.
Okay.
They're straight up artists. What they do is amazing. Like, it's an amazing skill.
But would you have thought you'd be into this like now if I'd asked you about it 5-10 years ago?
I thought I would have been a photographer by the age of 30, but I'm not.
Okay.
Art plus science equals me.
Okay.
So
you drove to this guy. How far away?
Kennewick, Washington, 5 hours.
Yeah.
It was during Christmas break.
Yeah.
2016, I think. Everyone's like, what are you doing, Seth? I was like, Christmas break. Instead of hanging out with my family, I'm going to go learn how to paint a dead fish.
Yeah.
And pay money to do it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I bought these parts.
Just shadowing.
I brought him, well, kind of. I brought him all of the parts.
Yeah.
Talked to him on the phone. Hey, I'm going to get this stuff. Okay, get this, whatever. Brought him all the parts. And I was like, okay, here it is. And teach me your ways. I'm going to learn whatever I can in a day. We've got a whole day. I paid for a day. Let's do it.
Wait. You took the whole vacation off for a day?
No. I was off for what, 10, 11 days? I'm saying I took one of those days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was misleading.
So, he taught me. I watched him, and he goes, you got the wrong head. Are you kidding? And he's like, but then I brought the wrong pieces.
Wait, what did you bring? You said you brought stuff.
I brought, like, a body that was made for head A2, but I got head A1, and I brought fins that
Are these things that you shot? Like, what are you talking about?
No. I went to a taxidermy supply company and bought the foam body.
Whoa. Back up. What's a taxidermy supply company?
Taxidermy. Taxidermists have to buy from a taxidermy supply company.
Are there some of these in Portland?
There's like 5 in the country. One of them happens to be in Lebanon, Oregon, like just down I-5.
And what's the supply? Is it glue and bones?
Dude, it's amazing. You walk in there, you would have no idea. Lebanon, Oregon, there's nothing going on there. They've got like a seed company, and they've got like, they sell hay, and then they have a taxidermy supply company, which is an unusually large building, but you can't tell when you walk in. You think it's small.
What'd you buy there?
You walk in, and there are foam mounts of hippopotamuses, elephants, deer, varmints, mice, alligators, any kind of animal in the world. Because taxidermists, so like the hunters will go to Africa and shoot a lion.
Yeah.
And then they need a taxidermist in Portland if they're from Portland.
Yeah.
To make it.
So the whole point is that they're skinning, for example, a lion. They skin the lion. And bring back the skin of the lion and then put it on this styrofoam mount?
So the taxidermy supply company makes body mounts. Right? So you're right. So if you kill a lion in Africa or a deer in Oregon or a bighorn sheep in Montana, what you bring home is the actual head and the cape, which is the skin. Mm-hmm. And then you give it to a taxidermist and you say, go for it, Jerry. And he's like, okay, it'll be 1 year and $600.
Yeah. And he pulls out all the stuff.
And what he does is he cures the skin, treats it so it doesn't stink.
Styrofoam or what is it?
And it's various things, but it's basically like a really hard styrofoam.
Oh, okay.
So he'll be like, okay, which...
But not like a plaster. It's not like super heavy.
Some of them are.
Oh, okay.
It just depends on the animal, man. Like the fish, like salmon and steelhead are heavy.
Sure. But like, I'm thinking of, I don't know, like a ram, like the Cabela's. You know, you've been in Cabela's. They're big setup with everything. Oh. Like one of those big rams that's probably as big as this.
No, it'd be a foam. It'd be a foam that's really hard.
Is that something that you could lift up? Could you lift up one of those rams? Okay.
I mean, I could, but...
Oh, nice. Yes. I'll give it to you.
Okay, so... but anyway, it's just, when do you ever walk into a place and you literally, it's like Noah's Ark, you walk in there and you see every animal, but it's styrofoam. You're like, this is so weird and cool. If Portland hipsters knew about this, they'd be all about it.
And so these are all blank canvases too. It's not like there's any details. They're just kind of almost like silhouettes, but they're just like white styrofoam things.
They're yellow. It's like a yellow.
Okay, but there's no details really. It's just very raw.
No, there's details. Yeah, there's all the muscle details.
Oh,
because imagine
so it looks like a muscular.
Yeah, it's literally a carbon copy of what an actual body of whatever species would be like, even down to the everything.
Because what if they've got the human? Watch out for the guy that goes in there and buys the human one and says, "I need this for a project I'm working on." I guess. Wait, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just reminded. I asked this taxidermist, what's the weirdest thing you've been asked to taxidermy? He said some guy wanted me to taxidermy his grandma.
Did he do it?
He offered him a large sum of money and he didn't do it. It's illegal and not cool. And plus,
is it illegal?
It's illegal.
I mean, like,
that's illegal.
Where does I don't know the law, but I mean, like, okay, so I mean, some people are like, they keep the casket in the home. You know what I'm talking about?
That's morbid. No, I don't actually. I mean, an urn?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, they'll keep the casket in the home for like a day or two.
Oh.
And you've never heard of this? No. I forget what group of people it is, but something, I don't know if it's religious or group of people or whatever it is. I was actually watching the Dark Tourist show on Netflix.
Okay.
He went to another country and they actually full on like live with their dead relative for like decades, I think. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they like party with them for their birthday and like live with them.
Sick.
But they don't make it sick. They make it like a celebration of their life. Like,
is this in real life?
Yeah. Like the person is like
with a casket?
No, like open. Like they're just there like pruny.
In formaldehyde?
No. Just out there.
Just for the days after?
No. Like for years.
Pruny?
Yeah, and their whole point is
mummify.
It looks
natural mummified. Deterioration?
I couldn't tell you. I guess you're right. Maybe mummification of some kind. Maybe, I'm sure they do something. You'll have to check it out.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Not interested.
It's pretty interesting. Anyway, the whole point is their culture is very much about celebrating life. So their whole point is like, even though you died, you didn't really die. And then they give the person something like, I don't know, maybe it's just a year, or maybe it's 10 years or whatever it may be. And then they let them pass on or something. And there's another one where they actually will, and maybe it was the same episode, I can't quite recall, but they'll even bury the person and then they'll like dig them up for their birthday or something.
That
and
is
put
freaking
them back
weird,
down
dude.
And then bring them back out.
That's just weird.
Don't worry, I'm not going to do that to you.
It's no judgment, but it's just weird.
Okay, so you asked the bro about the weird stuff. He gave you an answer that's really weird about the grandma. You were at the store. You bought what?
Yeah, so I bought a foam body. I said, hey,
First
guys.
off, why did he let you buy the wrong equipment? Doesn't he know? Isn't he a taxidermist?
He didn't give me that much time on the phone. He's like, yeah, bring some parts and I'll help you out.
No, not the guy on the phone. The guy selling you the stuff.
Oh, it was maybe a younger guy who hadn't worked there forever.
Okay.
It was literally Johnny in the back.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
He's like, oh, because I was like, hey, I need a 50. I said I need, a 48-inch Chinook salmon. He's like, okay, we got this one, that one, and that one. I was like, I want that one. One with its head turned that way.
Oh, good.
He's like, okay, I need
That's
SA 345. The fins, I need SA 242. He runs back.
So the book was wrong.
No, he just maybe got a couple. I don't know. It wasn't perfect.
We need to track this down.
And also, I got a factory second body mold. That was a big part of it. Anyway, bottom line, I brought not the ideal pieces to the game, right? To the taxidermist in Washington.
But he made it work.
But what was cool about that was I got to see, like the best musicians like Jack White, he can like make a guitar out of like this and this. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
no, I literally.
What's one of their most famous songs? It's just, oh my gosh, the dogs. It's just that drum.
Boom, yeah, boom, boom, boom. So I saw this.
I
saw this guy stressed for a minute. He's like, I was like, sorry, bro. And then, but I saw him like have to cut up the head and open it and then reform it to fit it onto the thing and do these things. Wow. So I was just like, okay, a young green taxidermist knows how to put pieces together,
right?
But a young old guy can literally make anything happen.
Reform and stuff.
So that was cool.
So even though they're working a year out and stuff, it sounds like they work fast.
I mean, yeah, dude. When I was on the phone with this guy, when I was in person, his phone was blowing up.
No, but I mean, it sounds like when you were in person, like he was doing what you would think, according to that timeline, would take him a week to do, but he was doing it in like 10 minutes or an hour.
Yes, that's just it. Like,
but I get it. He's a craftsman.
The fish, for example, if he just straight did the fish, I don't know, he could probably do the whole thing in like 8 hours.
Right.
The whole thing.
Right.
But when I bring him a fish, he's got a queue of people in front of him.
Sure. Yeah.
And also he's got some vacation.
Yeah.
Even though they don't take vacation. He works like 60 hours a week. But he had just got, get this, Does
he vacation with an animal?
He hunts.
That he just did.
Yeah. He hunts.
Come on. He makes the bear, rides with the bear on the
He's
airplane.
got a family. He's got a family.
Go ahead.
For example, he had just this great white hunter in like Chicago of all places, probably just a big executive or something, had gone on all these expensive hunts. He had just killed the final ram in the North American Grand Slam. There's 4 types of sheep in America: bighorn sheep, desert sheep, I don't know, whatever, California bighorns. And he had shot the 4th, the final one. He'd been saving all the mounts. Well, he called him up and he said, okay, I want you to come build me a mountain in my house and mount all the sheep on them. So he went there and he told me, like, I think that it was like the size of this room or bigger. It was like a Cabela's setup.
Yeah.
He literally built the rocks. So he flew down there on short notice for several weeks, built the mountain, sprayed it to make it look real.
Yeah.
Built the plants,
yeah,
all of it. Artist man. And then mounted the sheep, put them up there, and they're like,
Well, that Cabela's setup is crazy elaborate.
Yeah.
It's crazy elaborate.
It's big money. It's cool.
One thing you told me that was interesting is that you can't just buy the skull or buy the head.
By the head?
You said something about whenever you do the work, somebody's got to send it to you.
The head of the cow?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean so an elk. I would have to send you the elk head for you to do the taxidermy on.
Not necessarily.
You were saying you couldn't buy it.
Oh, you cannot buy game parts. So
what is a game part?
Like a game animal, like wild game. So like a deer. Every state in the United States defines what is a game animal. Mm-hmm. So like in Oregon, deer, elk, bighorn sheep, turkeys are game, ducks are game. Mm-hmm. Like those are game animals. So you cannot buy or sell game parts without certain permits. The reason they do that is because they want to prevent poaching.
Mm-hmm.
people killing multiple deer to then
Just for
legally
the head.
sell antlers.
Okay, yeah, this is
What happens with elephants.
the rhino, horn.
Exactly.
So okay, that makes sense.
So if somebody,
but how do you verify that it's not a poached product?
Well,
or is that impossible?
I've done a few. So I've done like an elk.
Because I mean, it's not.
But
like
it was
when
a
you
fake
shoot
elk.
it's not like when you shoot the elk in the forest that the elk will give you a certification that says I'm legit.
Never know. That's a weird thing to say.
But I'm saying, where is this? There's no certification or anything. There's no way to know. If
No, there is. So like when you shoot
poached.
when you shoot a bighorn animal, you have to keep the tag, your permit. You have to attach it to the antler legally.
Really?
Like I shot a deer 2 weeks ago.
And it has to stay there.
I shot a deer 2 weeks ago, and I brought the whole deer to the butcher. And before he accepted it, I had to hand him my tag to prove and verify. Taxidermy is the same way.
But what if your tag was used for like a lot of different animals? That I guess that's the whole point. Is that was the butcher checking? The butcher wasn't checking.
Checking
anything.
what?
He just making sure that your tag was a real tag.
Yeah, he has to look at it, make sure it's you, make sure it's a real tag, make sure that it's the right species.
So he looks it up in a computer system, or he just
no, you can tell.
It like
you can tell. Like all the organ tags look the same. So an organ butcher would know what an organ tag looks like.
But who's to say that you didn't just shoot 1,000 animals?
I mean, who's to know that you didn't just go kill people right now?
Well, what I'm getting at is I'm just trying to track down where the gaps in the system are. Just curious. So the whole point is there's nothing that's like he's not checking a box in some computer system that said Seth has killed 10 of these size animals or 80 of these size animals.
I mean, but
you know what I mean. I'm just saying somebody could easily still bring the tag, still show that they're a tagged animal, but
have killed more.
Sure. Yeah, that's all I'm getting at.
Yeah, they don't walk out to your truck to say, now let me confirm you don't have a second one.
But what's the whole point of these rules if they can't be enforced, right? Because they say if it's turkey season, for example, how many turkeys can you shoot?
1 per day in Oregon.
Okay, so how do they confirm that you're not doing more?
Nobody brings a turkey to a butcher. If they do, they shouldn't be turkey hunting.
Forget that part of it. I'm just saying, who's checking that they're not shooting more than that number?
Well, there's a game warden. The game wardens are assigned per county. Washington County, here where we live, has like 2 game wardens.
So there's people that are maybe camped out in certain areas. They kind of watch how many turkeys you're walking out with or something. Or if you got a whole production going on.
Yeah, but in Washington County, if there's 2 game wardens, that's a huge county. There's 2 game wardens. They can only see so much. And yes, they troll. They patrol. Not troll. They patrol. But they do troll.
They're trolling during their patrol. Okay.
Well, no, if you posted on Instagram a picture of you with, I killed 3 turkeys today, they're going to find out.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they're up on social media. To a degree.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can't
At least
verify.
you've heard stories.
Well, you'd be dumb to be posting pictures of a poached animal or of any illegal activity online.
Sure. That
Today.
makes sense. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. It's just very interesting. I guess you can't. There's not a good way to regulate all that very well.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the fish, right? So yeah, he taught me, spent a day with me, taught me how to paint fish, whatever.
Now, why did you do fish?
Because remember, I had that idea. I want to make a salmon.
I know, but why didn't you do the deer head? You saw that dude's.
Well, because that's what he does. I don't want to do the same thing.
Oh, okay. But you're open to deer heads in the future, though.
No, I'm not going to do a shoulder mount deer head just like he does.
Oh, okay.
That's his thing.
Oh, okay.
It's art. It's not me competing on spoons versus his spoons. There's art, so there's some level of...
So your fork.
So I learned how to make the fish, how to assemble it, how to paint it. I took it home. I finished it.
Because you knew enough now to finish it.
Yep. Sold it. And my first piece was done. And it was the first piece of its kind in the world.
So you sold a styrofoam fish with a Pendleton blanket on it?
No. I sold a taxidermied Chinook salmon upholstered in Pendleton fabric.
That was not an actual fish.
There was no life to it ever.
Okay.
There was life to the sheep, that had the wool
Mm.
that was on the fabric.
But not the fish.
No fish were harmed.
Who'd you sell it to? How'd you stir up?
A friend.
How'd you stir up some stuff to say, hey, buy this?
I didn't say, hey, buy this.
Mm.
I don't even know. I think I posted it. Posted on Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And a family friend bought it for her husband for Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
And then Outdoor Project, which is a website, amazing brand here in Portland, did a Father's Day gift guide and featured it as their lead. And I got a ton of press from that.
That's wild.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah. That sounds like a really awful gift guide, though. Because like, the whole point of gift guides is that it's like that impulse buy that you can be
right.
Oh, Father's Day's coming up. Shit. Like, I need this, like, in a couple days. So
there was only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll have it for next Father's Day.
Exactly.
Oh, you didn't realize that was a pre-order? Sorry, I don't do refunds, actually.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was product number one. So that was like a good start.
I get that it's unique. I think it's fun on the unique side. As far as like...
Well, it was a gift guide, so it was one of 10 things they showed.
You know? I'm over this gift guide. I think it was misleading. Because a gift, come on, a gift guide is not a, like, here's an intent for next year. That's more of like a reservation guide.
No, it was a gift guide, and it was a limited edition.
Yeah, limited to one that was already sold.
No, yeah.
That's extremely limited edition. It's just like a whiff of product.
Hey,
okay, moving on.
It was good press, though.
Yes, no, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you got people contacting you.
Oh, I got a ton of inquiries from that.
Okay, and you wrote people back your pricing. So here's how much it costs.
Yep, yeah, I did. I think I started out, charging by the inch. That's what taxidermists do.
The square inch.
Nope.
No.
Inch. Tip of the nose, into the tail.
Okay.
45-inch salmon times whatever I charged. I think the first one was $1,000.
Okay.
But now I charge $30 an inch for a fish.
Mm-hmm.
So a 30-inch steelhead would be $900.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So you did this stuff, and this is part of your new thing that you're doing, 84 East. And then you put some products on there. So there's basically every fish you're thinking of doing, or every fish that you've done goes up there.
So I did that.
Or aren't all the fishes that you're doing already from these inquiries and are already people's?
So I started with that one fish because I had an idea of what I wanted to create.
Right.
There was no roadmap, no template for it, and it hadn't been done. So I did it, and it took me 6 months to make that fish.
Yeah.
It didn't actually take 6 months of time. Just I'm a busy dad, I work, etc.
Right.
Oh, I could get 30 minutes in here and there. Oh, I'd have to look something up on the internet. Oh, I'd screw something up. Oh, I'd have to go back to the taxidermy shop. Whatever.
Right.
So I don't know how many hours went into that first one. But let's just say it wasn't high profit, that first one.
Yeah.
If you could count the hours. It's like my college roommate, Zane. Remember him?
Yes.
He bragged to me that he sold his EverQuest character for $1,500. I said, Zane, that's amazing. but how many hours have you built that character?
Yeah.
And it came out to less than a cent per hour.
Oh my gosh.
Like he made nothing on it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so my PR sounds cooler than it actually was.
Sure.
Bottom line, it was the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I was just going to do fish because I love fishing, and I built the brand 84 East, which 84 East is the highway that follows the river. It's the human highway that follows the river that the fish, that the salmon go up, like from the Pacific Ocean in Oregon. They go up the Columbia.
Fish ladder and everything.
Columbia was once the greatest salmon river in the world.
Okay.
30 million fish. Now it's annually. Now it's under 1 million fish, and most of them are hatchery fish.
Mm-hmm.
The wild fish are on their way out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I wanted to build a product that was unique, was visual, would appeal on Instagram, would appeal to people in the way that the web is today, the way that people interact with digital product. Unique, limited edition, rad, specific niche, whatever, Pacific Northwest, blah. But I also wanted it to have like, a special, bigger hook than it was more about product. Because really what it was a conversation piece about Oregon or about salmon. Salmon are the keystone species of the Northwest. There's over 150 animals, species in the Northwest, like not including insects.
Yeah.
And they all have something to do with salmon. Mm-hmm. Salmon. How does a bear have something to do with salmon? A bear eats a salmon in a river. Duh.
Sure,
okay.
Sure.
But how does a slug have something to do with the salmon? Salmon goes up a river. Eagle flies down, eats dead salmon. Eagle goes into the tree. It poops. Salmon in the poop goes into the moss. The moss grows. The slug goes on the moss. Like, it's all connected. Whatever. So, like, I mean...
It's connected.
No, it's crazy.
Sounds like you read that in some sort of fun facts about the Northwest.
No, it's true. People don't realize this. You wonder why the trees on a river are like significantly taller in like certain rivers in northern California or Oregon. It's not because they're right next to the river. It's because the river has nutrients. Salmon go out into the ocean and live there for 3 to 5 years. They eat krill. They eat in the Japanese current. They eat all these nutrient-rich things, right? Everything eats plankton. Then the bigger thing, the krill, gets eaten by the salmon. The salmon eats it, gets big, and then it comes back into the rivers, and they come back in massive numbers. 30
Why do
million
they want to
salmon?
come back?
Because it's their natal stream. That's just how they were designed.
So they leave and then they come back.
They are born as an egg. Less than 1% of them actually survive to be an adult because the eggs are eaten by fish, by eagles, whatever.
Sure.
They're dislodged. They're lost. They go out to the ocean. Those that come back, that's how they're wired. They come back. They can navigate by, who knows, the sixth sense.
Somebody knows.
But they get back in there. When they die, this is the way the ecosystem was built. The way that when they die, their body feeds the river. And not only feeds the river, but it feeds the whole river ecosystem. So like I said, the eagle, the bear, whatever, they eat it, they take it out. The whole ecosystem thrives.
But going back.
Well, I wanted to have a conversation piece, a product. It was a conversation piece for what is happening with our salmon right now. Because salmon are the keystone species of the Northwest, product, and more importantly, culture is built on salmon. Native American culture, which started however many hundreds, if not thousands of years ago in the Northwest, is built on salmon culture. Because, like, salmon, water is life kind of thing, right? Well, salmon is life. You take away salmon, you take away life. It was kind of the way some people before our industrial period would look at things, right? We're consumers and we don't think about, we lose the nature connection.
I think a lot of those conversations are around like bees, for example.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the hives and things like that are dying off.
Bees are the litmus for, bees are like a good indicator of the health of your ecosystem here in the Willamette Valley.
So
are frogs.
That was about the fish on the wall.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is, I wanted to build a product that was a conversation piece for something more than product. What is happening to our salmon? What is causing this decline in salmon? What does that mean for us? It's hydroelectric dams are causing salmon to decline, etc. Whatever. Because I want to help salmon. I want to bring more eyeballs to the salmon conversation. That was the original premise for 84 East, the brand. Right? So, anyway, I thought I was just going to be making salmon and still.
Also, the other premise for the brand is every time you were having an off day, you'd call me and say, "Let's just drive east. Let's just get in a car, go."
Okay, so that's funny.
And so you always had it as your like
84
escape, as your like.
That's another part of it. I mean, there's a million things. I was born in 1984, 84 East. I'm a big outdoorsman, so like. my playground outside is like Eastern Oregon.
Yep.
And to get there, I'd take 84 East. And you're right. This is truly the actual inception of the name.
Yeah.
I had a dead-end job. It was 2008. I had just been let go at the lumber brokerage firm. I got into lumber brokeraging in 2008. Worst time ever to get into the housing market. Yeah, I was young. I was green. I was like, oh, yeah. And then they're like, yeah, you're actually, we're done. It's over.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. My neighbor goes, do you want to get into email marketing?
Right.
I was like, absolutely.
Right.
Tangent, but important story here.
No, skip it.
No. It's the brief version.
Oh my gosh.
The 30-second version is, yes, I want to do email marketing. I thought you'd never ask. Do you know HTML code? Oh, yeah. Kirk, teach me HTML code. All right, man, say these keywords.
Yeah. No, you came over.
Head tag.
You came over.
Close bracket.
And we went through about 20 points of like, here's some keywords. Here's what they look like.
Exactly. Next
day.
You
had enough keywords.
I had enough keywords. Yeah. I got through it. I fooled them. And then I got a job in email marketing. Anyway, I was like, how the heck did I end up in, I told you this all the time, how did I end up in corporate America?
Right.
I should be a biologist.
Yeah.
And then I would always say this to anyone that's ever worked with me, 2009 or 2013. I'd be like, instead of Case of the Mondays, I would always say it's an 84 East day. Like, I just want to have a one-way ticket down 84 East to get the heck out.
There it is.
So it was escapism, which is interesting because that's a big thing right now on the internet. Escapism.
How so?
Instagram. Why do people sit on Instagram?
Oh, you're just talking about social media being a time suck.
I want to be where everyone else, I think everyone else is right now, even though it's just their highlight reel. I'm a skit. I have a lunch break. I could sit down and read the, romance novel that's in my corporate office, but that's lame. I'd rather look at pictures of like people in Bali.
Do you really think that that's like? I don't know if that would get. I haven't thought of that as escapism.
It's escapism. Absolutely.
I've thought of it as like daydreaming.
Okay,
here's an example. Like getting like drunk, being depressed, and you want to escape your problems kind of thing. Right. I see that as escapism.
That's escapism.
Or spending your time doing something like whatever the hobby may be to an extreme where it's like
escaping reality. It's a different, I'm talking about a specific escapism, which is travel escapism, wanderlust.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense. So it's almost like, it's like daydreaming to the point of escapism.
Sure. I want to be somewhere else physically.
Okay.
I'm at my job in Portland, Oregon, in a corporate office, and I would rather be in the Steens Mountains in Eastern Oregon or in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And therefore, I'm going to look at people that are doing that right now.
So
I'm inspired.
There's a healthy amount of that, and then there's an unhealthy amount.
Mostly there's an unhealthy amount.
Yeah. Okay.
Prevalent in America. Prevalent in me, but I contain it mostly.
Okay. So you got a company name, you got a fish, you got some interest.
And I thought I'd only do fish.
Yeah.
But I had a cow head at my house. Mm-hmm. And I said,
because everybody's got a cow head at their house.
Well, I'm a hunter. I'm a fisherman.
And a cow, isn't that also a type of elk?
No, a cow is not a type of elk. But a female elk you do call a cow.
That's what I was getting at.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not an elk. It was you're talking about
a moo cow.
Okay.
A moo cow. Dairy cow. I actually call them moo cows.
Moo cow.
No, when we're hunting, we'll be like, is that a cow? Yeah, it's a moo cow.
Yeah.
No, that's what we'll say.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, we're like, it's a bovine species.
Yes.
That's a Jersey cow.
Yeah. If you get the species wrong, then it's not really there.
Right. So I had I don't know. I had a cow skull in my shop. I have various things in my shop. One of which was a cow skull. I was like, I'm gonna upholster that. I did that. Posted it. Got a ton of interest.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. On Facebook.
Both.
Yeah.
I just got a ton of interest, and then people started asking for cow skulls, like 10-1 over the fish.
Oh.
So
Because people have more cows than fish? Or?
Well, I mean, think about it. Salmon are relevant to us here in Oregon because we have salmon rivers. We have salmon.
So you're talking about you got out-of-state interest.
Oh, yeah. All over the country.
Oh, okay.
A lot in Texas.
I don't know why. For some reason, I was thinking like that your reach hadn't gone that far, but that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
People would.
I mean, I saw this the other day, dude. This is crazy. Yeah. Guess what percent of the United States, I might be quoting this exactly wrong, but it's pretty close. Yeah, Guess what percent of the United States by surface area is dedicated to cattle? Whole United States.
I want to say 18%.
It's like 43%.
Okay.
Like our country is built on cattle. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Early 1900s, there was a lot of sheep. Sheep was the big industry, but then cattle, there's way more money in it.
There's actually a lot of interesting discussions there around having a non-meat diet and changing those kind of things because the amount of protein and calorie, the caloric amount of food you can actually ship is like something like 1/10 the size of what it takes to support, cow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So someone needs to design regenerative cows.
No. I mean, like, what we just need to do is do better at...
Less meat.
Moving in that direction. Well, I mean...
More plant.
Yeah, more plant. Just more adoption of alternative, which I love that kind of stuff, but it's not easy to have that conversation. Everybody's fixated on their meat. I like meat. I'm not like anti-meat, but I definitely prefer veggies and alternative. Like I'll make my own black bean patties, for example. Toss them on the foreman. They're delicious. Out of this world.
I know.
You've had them?
No, I know that you do that.
Oh, okay.
I've seen you change your diet over the years. Mm-hmm. Lettuce, burgers.
Mm-hmm. I change my diet all the time.
I know.
It's a very active thing, but I'm attentive.
Yeah, I mean, it's important.
You don't change your diet that much, do you?
What my wife makes. She's pretty good cook.
That's right. She's very healthy conscious. Yeah. So.
Anywho, interesting subject. But 40-something% of the United States.
Sure.
So that could be like BLM.
And it's pretty easy to shoot a cow.
But nobody shoots cows.
So why do they have skulls? Why do they want to put them on a wall?
Well, listen. If you eat a cow, the cow dies. The cow dies at the butcher.
But who wants a cow on their wall?
Plenty of people.
Really? Okay.
Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani.
But cows don't. I mean, I feel like everything you want in a rack is like that. You want the horns up there. You don't want but the cow, it's like
plenty of people do. It's a Southwest thing. This is a generic statement, but like Southwest is pretty.
Wait, so
trendy.
what's Pendleton then? What do you put the fabric on if it's just the cow head?
So
not just down the front, down the eyes.
I take a cow skull, a full cow skull with the horns.
Oh, they do have horns.
Okay. They have horns, and then separately, I cut out fabric by the yard. So I'll get like a piece of fabric that's like 20 by 30 inches or 30 by 40 or whatever, depending on the size of the skull. And then I take it.
Now, when you get this request with the skull, so they ship you the skull.
I buy a skull. I have a couple guys that I buy skulls from. I have some.
Now I'm confused again.
So listen,
buy that stuff.
It's not a game animal. Cows are not game animals.
Oh.
Cows are not wild. They're domestic farm animals.
Okay.
Kind of like sheep.
Okay. So you got a cow skull guy.
Yeah. I mean, like...
How many cow skulls could you buy?
I could buy as many as I want.
So we could fill up this room with cow skulls.
Yeah.
That's so weird. There's got to be somebody that did that.
Well, think about it. So 40% of the country is dedicated to cattle.
Yeah. I guess...
If McDonald's is on every corner in America, there's a lot of cows that are...
Yeah, it's true.
Having their skulls available.
So what do they do? What do they do with cow skulls?
What does who do with cow skulls?
So if there's people
at the butcher,
if there's people butchering, well, what do they do with bones?
Here's what happens.
What do they do with used bones? They grind it down.
I don't know the answer for sure. I do know that bones.
Are there any nutrients there?
Yes, bone marrow.
It's just the marrow. Is there anything else in the bone?
I mean, I'm not the right guy to ask, but what I do know is that some cow bone stuff does turn into dog treats. Mm-hmm. So there's this what do you call it? Secondhand industry built on
sawdust isn't. they were cutting wood, and then they said we can sell our sawdust. Yeah.
For all I know, they could be like grinding up bones and selling it as a delicacy or an aphrodisiac in China. I don't know. I know they do that with elk
rhino.
No, yes, but they do that with elk antlers. It is sold at a high value as an aphrodisiac in China, Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's weird that they're into like fingernails for that stuff.
What?
That's what those are?
What is?
The antlers. It's just fingernails.
Well, it's not fingernails because it doesn't go on fingers. It's the same material?
Yeah. It's
the same idea. What?
Yeah, no, it's the same material. What's on your fingernail is exactly what a rhino is.
Calcium?
Yeah, I wouldn't say what it is because I don't know the term. I'm sure if I said calcium, it's going to be something else. But yeah, whatever your fingernails are, that's what the rhino horns are. That's what the elk antlers are. So it's weird that they're into fingernails.
Something similar.
Sort of seems like you could gather a lot of fingernails, compress them.
Yeah, so if you're like a sick serial killer and you just want to collect hands.
No, not serial killer. I'm saying if you said like, hey, you put on an advertisement, right? You say, hey, everybody, send me your fingernails.
That's disgusting.
Family Guy actually made a joke about it the other day. It was hilarious. So you get everybody's fingernails, you start packing them together with glue. There you go. Now you can start selling horns.
Oh, like clipped fingernails. I was thinking full fingernails. That's what I was like.
What do you mean by a full fingernail? You mean like somebody rips it out?
That's why I was freaked out.
No, I'm talking about just like normal trimmings of people.
Yeah, no, I was. You were creeping me out there.
Oh my gosh! Wow! Way to take that in a completely different direction.
You've been known to be a psycho.
Oh my gosh! So. You got the fish. You've got the cows.
Yes.
How many cows have you done?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 30.
That's a lot. And you were just you.
I started a year ago.
But like, what's your like production? What do you want your production team to look like in the future?
You're looking at it.
But do you want to?
You're looking at it.
Do you want to train up more people to do
you're
this?
Looking at it. No. Then I lose the artist element.
So you want to get out of it?
Get out of what?
The taxidermy stuff.
Well, yes and no.
That's what you're telling me.
Well, it's not scalable, right?
It is.
It's not scalable. Listen,
you train another artist,
right? But
why don't you find people that are already doing this stuff? Like they're already taxidermists.
Yes, but there's now.
So you could contact a person who's already into it.
Well, so listen to this.
Get them into your gig. Say, I've got gigs for you, or you could just pay them.
I just haven't chosen to go that route yet. I mean, I'm only a year and a half, not even a year and a half. I'm a little over a year in. So I'm still like seeing what the market, I'm really in the phase of seeing what the market thinks of this.
So you think that this could maybe be just something that was like the inspiration to get things running for 84 East, not necessarily the product you take into the future?
I could quit my day job and make a living off of this, but I don't want to. Mm-hmm. So the demand is good enough for that. Mm-hmm. But it's what I've learned I'm green, right? I've only done this a year. What I've learned about this is, so I sit at a desk all day, digital marketing. This is me. This is what I look like all day. Like, that's what I do. That's what most people do.
Desk job.
But I was never meant to be a desk job.
Yeah, I know. We've had about 1,000 conversations.
I know.
Like, why did you chain me up into this?
Exactly.
And you attribute it all to me.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Because else you get one gig.
It actually went back to the moose picture and the contact us page. Anyway, bottom line is, that's not what I want. I don't want a desk job. I have one. I'll probably do one for a while longer. But anyway, I'm glad I've done it. But I need a creative outlet. Because like I said, I'm half art, half science. Like, I'm not the best artist. I'm not the best scientist. I'm not the best at anything. I'm a jack of all trades in some sense. But what's unique about me is I'm pretty good at art and I'm pretty good at science. And when I put the two of them together, I'm like pretty good at that. So, my job at work is more science. When I say science, I'm not talking biology.
Yeah, you're just talking mental.
I'm talking math, really.
Acuity.
I'm talking math. I'm talking the science of I'm talking like math.
Processing power.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the art portion, I'm talking some things that are. I'm talking subjective versus objective, right? So the science part of my day job is judged objectively. Mm-hmm. Oh, here's the goal. Oh, you hit this. You beat it by 10%.
Right.
The art portion, totally subjective. I don't like that photo. It's a little too blurred.
Right. Sure.
So but I only play in the science side at work. Mm-hmm. So then the art part of my brain is starved. So when I come home after the kids are in bed.
Oh, you're doing the art side.
I do the art. So it's a side hustle at night to feed my art side, right? So bottom line, I've done 30. What I like best about it is I like making them. I have pride in them. It's really cool. But the coolest part is the people that I connect with. The people that buy these. I mean, they're, they're up to $1,500,
Right.
So it's, a higher end clientele. A lot of them have, and it's a weird product. It's it's interesting people that buy these things.
Yeah, I'm guessing people kind of come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and they tell me their life stories.
Wow.
They're like, oh my gosh, my grandma died to this with this, with this fabric. Or oh, the cow means so much to me. My grandpa had it's people get into this really nostalgic.
Okay.
There's enough elements in there, and the elements I'm talking about are Pendleton, which is historic. People have a ton of Pendleton stories, and then fish, salmon. I literally had a guy one time that actually I was making reference to. This guy was literally my grandfather died on a salmon trip while I was in the boat with him, and my dad then died years later on a heart attack after we salmon fished. Salmon means so much to me.
Wow, yeah.
And I was I've had more things like that are, these are strangers, and their first email to me is life story, and I'm like, I'm not selling spoons here. This is really cool.
Yeah, interesting.
And then I engage with them in different levels, and I'm like, oh, well, that's we could do this, that, and the other. You build a piece for a person, so there's a lot of purpose. I guess that's what it comes down to. Teaching is, they say it's so rewarding because it's you feel fulfilled. You have purpose.
Sure.
I don't really care if I beat our sales goals by 10%. I do.
It's interesting to say that it has a more of a purpose.
It's purpose. It's really purpose and fulfillment is what it is.
So do you feel like you're... It almost feels like you're injecting something that is your spin on things along with something that is Pendleton's spin on things, along with something that's nature, along with something that is somebody's life story kind of stuff. And you kind of spin that all together into a product they can put on the wall.
Yeah, and it's something that doesn't exist. And these products, I don't even like to call them products. These pieces, they're conversation pieces.
Well, their whole point is it's art.
Well, yes, exactly. And I don't want to say I'm not an artist, but I don't really. I'm not an artist. Sure. I don't go to galleries. Sure. I couldn't sit here and draw Mozart.
Sure.
Whatever.
That's awesome. I love that quote. I couldn't sit here and draw Mozart.
Well, I could, but you know what I'm saying.
He's a musician. He didn't draw.
It doesn't matter.
But that's
an artist could draw Mozart.
No, I love that because there's, I don't know if you've ever heard people who aren't into sports, they call things sports ball.
Maybe I'm so far advanced that I just chose to use that
not football
phrase.
Or golf or something. They say sports ball, which
or means, is a cow an elk?
Which is saying I'm into it, but I'm not into it.
Sure, right. See, I'm not an artist, but I am.
Draw Mozart.
Listen, I make these things, and you can be the judge.
Yeah.
I don't care if you think I'm an artist or not. I am what I am, and I make this thing, and that thing is a fact.
Yeah.
And the fact is, that thing is actually a conversation piece. Yeah. People don't look at these things and go, look away. I didn't even notice, that flower. It's really cool now that I'm looking at it. But what I'm saying is when these are in the room, heads turn, eyes gravitate to it. People start talking, they ask questions, and and they just tell stories. That's really cool.
That makes sense.
So anyway, that's what's happening with it now. And I had one cool thing happen this year.
Mm.
I got to make a piece for Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, but they didn't buy it.
No,
it was a gift.
I know who Gwen Stefani is. I don't know who the other person is.
Blake Shelton is one of the biggest country music artists. Some people say he's as dumb as a fence post. I like him. I think he's funny, regardless of his personal life choices. But he's on The Voice. He's a judge on The Voice. The Voice.
The Voice. Okay, so we watched American Idol.
It's like the new, better version of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he put it up in his house?
It's going in their house in Oklahoma.
You think he's okay with you talking about it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It was a gift.
All right. Okay. Nice. Oh, okay. So you're trying to get some cred in that kind of circle.
No, I actually just made it as a gift to see what would happen.
Oh, okay. What's happened?
Well, so here's what happened. So he was coming to Oregon to do a show.
Yeah.
The Pendleton Whiskey Fest, which is held at the Pendleton Roundup Grounds in Pendleton, Oregon.
And not related to the blanket company. Pendleton is a
well,
whiskey company.
There is a relationship because
Whoa.
Pendleton, the blanket company, has a mill in Pendleton, Oregon, and the Pendleton Roundup Grounds. They have a relationship with Pendleton at some level. I don't know the exact.
Sure, they're just companies that are aware of each other.
No. I mean, there's some sort of ongoing relationship.
Hard to put a blanket in a bottle.
Sure.
Hard to put a bottle as a blanket.
Christina Aguilera reference?
No.
Genie in a bottle?
Not quite. Christina. Coming over.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I texted you. So anyway, the thing is...
Pendleton.
Pendleton? What are we, in Germany? Ah, yes,
Pendleton. Yes. No, Pendleton.
That sounds like...
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah. So I found out that he was coming. Mm-hmm. I emailed the event manager for the event, the guy that started the event, Andy McAnally. I'm coming for you. It's not a threat.
What is it?
It's just a phrase.
Are you putting up a booth or something?
No. And I said, hey, can I sell my cow skulls at your event? Your people will love it. Because there was like 30,000 people coming. Mm-hmm. And Pitbull, you know Pitbull, the artist?
What was the event?
The Pendleton Whiskey Fest. So Pendleton Whiskey is a whiskey brand.
Right.
And now owned by Jose Cuervo. Used to be owned by Hood River Distillers.
A lot of whiskey companies come together.
Nope.
And do whiskey. No, it's all
It's just Pendleton Whiskey because they're like the whiskey brand. So they host it.
That many people come.
30,000, something like that. But... Okay, so it's at the stadium.
How many whiskeys do they have?
Whiskeys? No, Pendleton Whiskey is their one whiskey. I don't know. Maybe they have more. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how many whiskeys they have. Probably
well, I mean, I've seen them. They have more than one.
They might have like a black label and a normal. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
So what is it? It's a carnival. There's got to be something that people are doing there.
Pendleton Whiskey Fest is a music festival.
Oh, it's music. Okay, there we go.
Oh, yeah, I thought you got that.
No, I didn't get that.
Blake Shelton.
Oh, there you go.
Is the lead singer.
Okay.
He's the lead act. But also, Pitbull. You know Pitbull?
So when he got up on stage, he wore this.
No.
Okay.
No, he was coming. So anyway, I got to the event manager. I said, hey, when you sell the skulls, he's like, these are really cool. My audience will like it. Then he pondered. He's like, you know what? Problem is nobody wants to carry around a cow skull at a music festival.
Sure.
Like, you're right. Anyway, I was like, okay, how about I'll ship them for the people? They just select. He's like, too much work. I was like, okay, how about I just gift you one and you give it to Blake Shelton and say, this is from me. Got it from a local artist. Thank you for coming, Blake. Hope you come next year. So it was not a PR placement in the sense. It didn't feel like a PR placement.
Okay.
It wasn't me saying, give him my business card and tell him that. No, it was literally, you give this to the man.
Yeah.
And then turns out he did give it to the man.
Yeah.
He emailed me and said, I gave it to Blake. His manager loved it. He loved it. I was like, sweet. Maybe someday he'll post it on Twitter.
Look at you, local artist.
Whatever. And then I was like, what if he just said that, but he like sold it on Craigslist or kept it for himself?
Yeah.
Well, there was a country music artist, a gal from Portland, maybe, that opened for Blake at this show.
Yeah.
I saw that she was at the show and got a picture with him. I commented, I messaged her and I said, congrats on opening for Blake. And then I said, I sent him the skull that week.
Oh, okay.
And she messaged me and said, I was there with him when he got it. He said, Gwen's going to love this.
Oh,
and it's going in our house.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, it happened.
Okay.
So I know it happened.
Okay.
And then I can actually tell people I made one for Blake Shelton.
There it is.
It's true.
Nice.
But, I didn't get anything out of that. I just did it.
Yeah.
I just like to try weird stuff.
Now, you got a blanket thing coming up. No. Oh, it's difficult. It's complicated. Shouldn't talk about it.
It's complicated. It's too early to talk about it, but yes, something's
too early to talk about it, except you post about it every day.
I did up until 2 weeks ago.
Oh. Fair enough.
Yeah. Trying several entrepreneurial pursuits.
Okay.
Say that 10 times fast.
Pursuits.
No,
Pursuits.
Entrepreneurial pursuits. Say it 3 times fast. Go.
Not going to do it.
Entrepreneurial pursuits, entrepreneurial pursuits, entrepreneurial pursuits. It's tough.
I was conceding that. Yeah. It's tough. So, I heard from a little birdie that you got... What?
I'm pregnant? What?
Are you pregnant?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm the second man in Oregon to have a baby.
So I heard that you got offered to be in a certain show.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. I wish I would have done it.
What show?
Naked and Afraid.
Mm-hmm. What season?
This current season.
No way. Why didn't you do it?
Discovery Channel.
So we've gotten super into Naked and Afraid.
You?
Don't give me that drama.
It's hilarious.
So, I'm not saying I want to do it tomorrow, but I'm saying it's very interesting. I could see myself getting into it.
Oh yeah,
and going and doing
it. You would be more fitting on the show than me.
Why wouldn't you want to go do that? First off, how did they contact you?
It was a producer. She just sent me a direct message on Instagram.
Okay, so she saw your Instagram.
Yeah.
What did she say?
I don't remember how the message read, but it was like, hey, I'm a producer from Naked and Afraid. Would you ever want to be on the show? And I was like, delete, then I was like, wait. And I looked at her profile. I was like, oh my gosh, she's a producer for the show.
Right. And
I was like, is this a joke, Like, why me? And then I think I asked her some questions back and forth. Mm-hmm. She was asking me about my outdoor experience.
Would I have to be naked? Would I have to?
Well, actually, no. My first question was, I thought you'd never ask. No, that's not a question. No, I said something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I did absolutely. No, hang on. I should actually look at my phone on my phone. Because my question to her was something slightly inappropriate.
Yeah.
About nudity. I was just having a good time.
Well, you're breaking the ice.
No, I know what I said.
Yeah.
I said, no, here's what it was. I said, I thought you'd never ask. And then she said, we went back and forth. And then I remember I said, should I send you some nude pics now?
Oh my God.
Like assuming that they would need them. And she was like, oh no, we don't need those. She was like, no, please stop.
Oh my God.
I would never do that.
That would be very weird. Yeah. If they were like, we need to see that up front.
33 or 34, however old I am, year old man, married man, having a good time.
They blur it all out anyway. It's not like there's going to be some surprise.
Yeah, but you're still there in real life with real people.
Well, what's so surprising that somebody couldn't get over it in 30 days, whatever it is, or 20 days?
Couldn't get over it?
Over whatever.
Oh, couldn't last?
I know, I'm saying, if there's any surprise that they needed to pre-filter out via a photograph ahead of time.
Oh.
What could it possibly be? Even if it was like, I don't know.
Like what? What would it be like?
I'm trying to think of it.
Come on. Give me something.
This is funny. I don't know. I can't get creative enough. That would be very funny if that was part of their filtering process. If they literally were like, this is part of our filtering process. Who's going to be the judges?
I mean, I don't know, man. They're all about ratings. That's what they care about.
Actually, you ever watch Arrested Development? You ever seen that?
Maybe one show. I'm not sure.
There's one of the characters who is a never nude. So even when he takes off his pants, he's still wearing jean shorts. It's played by David Cross.
That's
absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Because he's like so like attached to these jean shorts. And for a while he gets around them or something. Like they break away and then they're back again. And then he bumps into somebody during the show. And he's like, "Oh, I saw you at the conference in Germany." So it's like a subset of people that get together for conferences and things. But it's a small subset because later on in the show he yells and he's like, "There are dozens of us. Dozens." So not a large group. Anyway, lots of good content there. Better watch the show. Moving on. Why were you not interested? That's a pretty fun opportunity.
I talked back and forth with Amy. They wanted to fly me down to do basically an in-person interview.
Okay.
So I did decline to do that. Probably. I would assume. No. And afraid.
No. Just like holding the knife the whole time. What's your name?
Yeah. Walk into a dark room, take your clothes off, and then like a bunch of like moaning and monkey sounds. And you're like, oh! I mean, like, I don't know.
Like, he looks afraid.
He's naked.
Yeah. Oh,
You're in. Yeah. Urine. No, not urine. Get it?
Wish I could edit this. Anyway.
No, I actually talked with Amy, and I was like, and I texted my family, and they're, of course,
Did you know the location?
I think it was, like, Cambodia.
Really?
Or, yeah, it was somewhere wild.
So you actually were thinking about it because you were having conversations about it.
Dude, I was like texting people. I was like, should I do this? And I was basically saying that as a joke, thinking in my head, 95% chance. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to do this. But I was like, but there's a chance.
Yeah.
But here's what it was.
Could you start a fire?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have the primitive skills. But they did question my primitive skills because they're like, we can tell you're good with, normal stuff.
Yeah,
but that's why they want to have me come down and whatever.
Right.
But and because I said, well, of the people that come down, what % actually get on the show? And they're like, pretty high chance. If we have you come down, pretty high chance.
Yeah.
Unless you're a total weirdo.
Right. Or you get down there, you're like, oh, what's a fire? Like, how do I do? Can I bring my lighter?
Yeah. Yeah. But Blue Flame. Remember that? Can't be on me.
Don't remember. But yeah. They don't let them bring a lighter, do they?
I think you can bring one.
Because they bring the
flint.
Yeah, but wouldn't they want to bring a lighter instead?
No, flint and spark, man. You don't need a lighter if you have flint.
All right.
I don't know. But tinder and splint flint.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what the deal breaker was. You know what the deal breaker was?
Alligators.
Well, my ethics were my number one. I was like, do I really want this out there? And adult me was me naked on the television in front of the world. And I was like, no. No, my family would be ashamed of me. But I was like, secretly, 16-year-old Seth is like, yeah. I wanted to.
But it's all blurred out. Like, nobody can see anything.
Still, I got kids, man. Bottom line is, so I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that 90% of my reasoning is going to be ethics if I say no. But the deal breaker was how much they pay you. I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to pay me $100,000 for it.
It's about $1,000 a day, right?
Yeah. If you make it the full 21 days.
Yeah.
Maximum $21,000 at best, or $1,000 ruin your reputation. I don't think so.
Isn't it an opportunity though? Like if I had those skills, which maybe I'll learn those skills from you, and I'll go do Naked and Afraid because I'm about it.
We're not getting naked together, if that's what you're saying.
No, primitive skills. I just need to ramp up on those.
But naked is primitive.
What I'm saying is, I learned those skills. I would look at it. I didn't even know they got paid. I thought it was just an opportunity.
Well, like to rep your stuff?
No, like to have...
Get on the radar of people?
No, to have the ability to go out with another person and know that, like, there's a team that's watching you and waiting alongside. So if the worst happens, you can just pull the parachute.
Why is that an opportunity? What do you mean?
If you were going to go and do that on your own.
But I'm not.
No, I'm saying if you were going to go and do that on your own, you would have to pay a crew to just sit there and watch you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's mostly...
And to drive, you would have to pay a crew to fly you out there, to go with you, to film you, and to, then edit it up.
Okay, but I would never want that. Because it's mostly a miserable experience and awkward.
I don't believe in awkward, number one. But number two, I don't see us miserable.
I believe in awkward.
For awkward to occur...
You don't believe in awkward?
For awkward to occur, everybody has to agree that it was awkward.
Do you don't believe in awkward?
You know what I mean. See, like... I get it.
That was awkward. Do something awkward right now. You're really awkward right now.
I'm just not talking right now. But what I'm saying is... There's so many times when people will say, oh, that was awkward, right? Okay, imagine a professional setting where one person is like big boss man. The other person is first day on the job man or woman. And they get there and they say, they feel like something awkward happened.
Okay.
Boss lady's like, no, nothing awkward happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like most of the time, in those kind of settings, for example, somebody will be like, "Oh, it's so awkward," and the other person will just be like, "This is not awkward." So what I'm saying is, usually, a majority of folks have to agree that something awkward occurred.
But usually, you're not snuggling a stranger naked at night while it's 30 degrees and hyenas are screaming. That's awkward.
I see. I don't subscribe to that being awkward.
Anyway.
I subscribe to that being unique.
Okay.
Not normal. Definitely something I talk about with my wife beforehand.
Okay. Anyway, I didn't do it. I knew I wouldn't, but I liked to entertain the idea that I would.
Why would you not do it? Oh, man.
They told me I could come back to them. They told me I could come back to them and apply another time. I didn't even apply.
Okay, we're going to do a trip, and you'll teach me primitive skills. And then I'll take your slot.
Naked or not naked?
Not naked.
Not naked.
Then I'll take your slot.
Okay.
And you'll say, this guy knows primitive skills.
Okay.
I gotta learn how to identify stuff. I think that's the number one thing.
Do you remember that time we went fishing on the Deschutes River?
Because it's been on my mind a lot. Like,
what?
Naked and Afraid. I mean, we've cruised recently through, like, it's just been on in our house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
it's a top 5 show in this house?
For like the last month or something, we've cruised through like almost like 6 seasons of it.
What?
And 2 seasons of the other show. So like 8 seasons.
Like Breaking Bad were only worthy of that amount of time.
No, I'm just saying Arena can't get enough of it.
Oh wow.
Go. So bottom line is,
it's an interesting show.
It's been on my mind a lot about what you would do, how you would do it, all those primitive skills. It seems like the flint fire starter is a great way to go. Also seems like the pot is a pretty good way to go. So you can do the water. Having those 2 things is pretty good. And then it's a bunch of interesting things. There was one dude who was like, I'm going to get out there. I want to thrive. And so if I was going to do it, I would want to be that guy. Because the way that he was approaching it, like he did thrive. Like he did it like it was a breeze, almost like it was just a vacation. It was unreal. But the whole point of it was there's, how you can be like in front of the wave, surfing the wave, or you can be behind the wave, missing the wave the whole time.
Yeah.
And so he was just in front of the wave. He was just like using, and all that really boils down to is
preparation.
Well, preparation's a part of it, but the vibe that I got from his approach was basically, and this is all speculation, obviously, because of course the editor is going to do whatever they're going to do.
Producer.
But the vibe that I got from that guy's approach was that he was basically he knew what to do, and he was just going to do that.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't. A lot of the people that get on that show, they're not quite sure what to do, and then they're like, I think I'll do this, and then they kind of they put in a ton of effort, and they don't like necessarily make it. They kind of half-ass it. I'm not saying like they actually half-ass it because I know there's survivals on the line, so they're probably like giving it all that they can. But what I'm saying is, in relative terms, it seems like they kind of like the fire starting people, for example. Like sometimes it seems from the viewer's perspective that sometimes they're half-assing it,
or that they're not sure that that's the thing they should be doing. Therefore,
or
they're
that
not
too.
fully invested.
Yeah, it's kind of this whole thing of like.
I'm doing this thing, but should I be doing that?
Maybe that. Yeah, a little bit of like just kind of some uncertainty and some of those kind of things, and this whole point of like, should I be hunting today? I don't know. Let me think about it. And then the next scene is like next day, so they've been thinking about it all day. It's like, no, get in there especially while you have like so if I was going to do it, I would get a big caloric load before I go, right? I'd just beef up ahead of time. This is what you do for a marathon, right? Yeah. Night before, you just stockpile.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. Pizza. I ran a marathon. It was just pasta frenzy.
Was that
the
Portland?
Night before? Seattle.
They canceled Portland this year.
No, Portland's gone forever.
Forever?
Portland Marathon is gone forever.
Why? How? We're like running City USA.
Right. It doesn't mean every run is canceled, but Portland Marathon is gone.
Why?
Well, Portland Marathon is, as I understand it, a company. It's called Portland Marathon, but that doesn't mean it's associated with the city. Like, you can get the permits. Anybody can. You could call it whatever.
This is madness. It's been going on for
It's been decades. Going on a long time, yeah. And it's pretty iconic. But the whole point was, it was, I had to read it like 3 times because they made it kind of cryptic in the way that they worded it. But the whole point was something along the lines of, the city and the marathon couldn't align well enough. In other words,
on the route,
Portland Marathon was saying, we can't do what we want to do to be a world-class marathon. However, whatever that actually meant. It sounded like the city was maybe saying no to certain things.
Oh yeah, the route.
Probably the route. And Portland Marathon was like, we don't feel like this is like a legitimate, good quality marathon, and we don't want to be like saying it's a Portland Marathon and it's a crappy marathon.
Yeah.
Like when I did Seattle, they I don't know if they shut down a highway or what, but I mean, we ran some long highway bridge thing.
What was your time?
Well, I don't know.
5 hours?
I don't even know.
Did you train?
Yeah, a little bit.
A week?
No. I mean, a friend and I, we'd go out and run 10 or 15 milers, here and there.
Did you run most of it?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't walking a ton. I was at least jogging.
Whoa.
But
do you want to yawn right now? Yawning's contagious.
Nah. It was pretty funny though. My colleague or my buddy who ran it with me, he was an interesting guy, but funny story, he couldn't move at all the next day really. Like the steps he was taking were like these 1-inch steps, and I was like, he was very unique. Like he's like, I don't wear a seatbelt, and I asked him about that. He's like, yeah, I've gone through a windshield before. Like, and he still doesn't wear a seatbelt. I was like, you are an interesting character. And one of the other things, he didn't take any drugs of any kind. So I convinced him, to take a freaking ibuprofen that day when he was struggling to even walk. So.
Good grief.
Boy, yeah. Sometimes you get, a certain thing in your mind that's like.
Speaking of interesting people that do weird things, I remember a guy in Germany that we hung out with. He would hold himself like this.
Sit like that?
Was it in Germany?
I don't know.
It was a friend you had. His sitting posture in life, just when he was standing up, was doing this. And I thought it was so cool. And I think he did the side belt thing that you used to do.
Interesting. So now you hold yourself like this at work. Yes. Or that's how you get more blankets.
I'm actually going to do this tomorrow at work.
Am I going to see that on Pendleton's Instagram?
I don't do Pendleton's Instagram.
You've been on it, or your dog has.
Oh, yeah. Yep, when they choose to use it.
So you don't need glasses, but these are for computer screens?
These are blue light blocking glasses. Blue light is an unknown...
Who told you this? The person selling them?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Did you look it up on your own?
Also, some reviews online. Amy bought me these. Look, the truth is, I've always wanted glasses, but I
Why?
have 20/10 vision. I think they make me look smarter. Do you?
I'm not sure.
Just part of adulting.
Jury's out. Jury's out.
Wow. Way to just... Hey! That's not really your Ferrari. You rented it. It's actually stolen!
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Blue light blocking glasses block light that has been shown in certain studies to decrease your sleep as well as increase your stress, as well as decrease the likelihood of great eyesight at age 60 and beyond. So it's a preventative placebo or real thing, but it's preventative, and I feel good.
I don't know, but I guess a placebo could make you feel good, but it couldn't make your eyes better.
Listen, it's not hurting anything other than the $80 that we spent on these.
So
it can only help.
One of the things that I do is I intentionally keep things like small and precise. For example, on my computer screen, and I've been tempted over time to be like, I want to enlarge this or enlarge that because I can read it more easily. But I've challenged myself to be like, keep it very small.
Tabs?
No, like the text on the computer. I usually shrink it down pretty small and everything like that. So I keep everything pretty small so I can maintain my vision because I want to keep that focus up.
Okay.
Like, for example, I can still read the check line. The line on a check.
Okay. I can read mine as well.
No, I mean, on the check,
the routing number.
The signature line is not really a line. Those are actually letters.
Oh. What's your vision?
I don't know.
Mine's 20/10.
Last time I went to a vision person.
Ophthalmologist.
Is that what it is?
Absolutely. Ornithologist.
That's a bird person.
Yes. Some hot, but eagle eye.
Hot?
Eagle eye.
You said some hot, but eagle eye.
Eagle eye is a thing. I married ornithology with ophthalmology. Eye and bird. Bird eye? God, must I explain it?
I think you're
merging two things.
I think you're merging
art and science. So you went to an eye man.
I don't know. No, it's eye lady.
Me, eye doctor. You bad eyes.
Eye lady. I don't know what she said my vision was, but it sounded like it was okay. And then yes, she tried to pitch me on computer monitor glasses. It's probably these guys,
but it didn't work on you.
No, it did work on me when I brought them home. You spent what? Why did you buy that? So I took them back, which is fine.
$80.
I didn't actually really want to wear them.
Pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but I don't want to put something on my face. It's just another thing. Like
I know.
It's taken me a long time to even get a watch. I'm not a person that gets a thing. What do you think? You like them? I got smarter in your eyes.
You're definitely more techie right now.
I could sell you a computer twice as fast.
You are super nerdy, actually, with those. That makes me not want to wear them anymore.
Why?
They're a little too nerdy.
I don't know.
And plus, didn't it not just cloud up your vision? It did.
Yeah, well, of course. It restricts, too. I mean, I
know. Get it?
If I had vision that needed to be repaired, I'd definitely prioritize LASIK. Because I couldn't. Do you wear contacts?
No, 20/10 vision as stated.
It could be post LASIK.
I am not post LASIK. I am pre LASIK.
You're non LASIK.
I'm prehistoric. I'm pre LASIK.
But I would prioritize LASIK. I would prioritize getting eyes.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a leg break off, I would prioritize, like...
No, I'm just saying some people are okay with their glasses. Like, some people they don't mind. Like, it's not a priority. And I'm just saying, it would be hard for me to think about living life with glasses.
I look down too much, I don't want glasses dropping off.
I suppose over time you kind of get some notches in your face to a degree.
Notches?
I don't know, just like a certain wear pattern. Not deep or anything, but just enough.
Crow's feet?
No. But I'm just saying anything. I mean, like, okay, here, if I pull off my ring, right? Like, here's an indentation.
You can pull your ring off? I can't pull mine off.
Are you joking?
No, it's stuck.
That's not a good thing.
I have not taken this thing off in 8 years.
I take this thing every time I lift because it sucks on the metal.
I haven't taken it off in 10 years.
Really? It sounds to me like you got to get that sucker resized.
It's perfectly fine. I don't take it off.
You're restricting blood flow to an important organ.
A phalange is not an organ.
I'm joking.
Unless, well.
I'm joking. What are you... what... When you do your primitive skills, how does the ring affect you?
It works as a bottle opener.
Oh, could you even take the ring with you? Would they consider it a tool?
I would tell them they're tools if I can't take it off. If I have to take it off. You tool. I'm leaving this on. Married.
What would they...
Nope, not a tool.
No, I mean, if they were going to interpret it and say, this is a tool.
I'd say you're a tool.
What would they say they could do?
I don't know.
What would they say you could do with that tool?
I don't know. There's a lot you can
do.
No,
think about it.
You could use it as a fishing lure. I mean, come on.
What?
Shimmer and shine. Attracts fish. There's actually a lure called a wedding ring lure in fishing.
There you have it.
There you go.
So you could put your hand in the water. That'd be cheating. Catch a fish.
You could take this off and tie a string.
Well, that too, but I'm saying if you held your end of the bargain and didn't take it off, maybe you put your...
Perhaps. I doubt it.
They got those is it catfish?
Look like a giant worm.
Guys that get them on their arm. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of course I do. Noodling. I've done it.
Noodling?
Yeah.
How big was it?
What?
The noodle that you noodled when you were noodling.
You don't noodle noodles.
They're catfish,
Look,
right?
there's two types of noodling. There's going to Shanghai, noodling. It's like bar hopping. You just go eat noodles. And then there's noodling for catfish. In Oklahoma.
And you did it.
I've done it, but I was unsuccessful.
Then you haven't done it. You've just put your arm in the water. I've done that before.
Okay.
It's called swimming.
It's called unsuccessful noodling.
So, okay.
If you go fishing and you don't catch a fish, you still went fishing. You don't go catching.
That's a good point.
Noodling is a type of fishing.
That's a good point.
I went fishing via noodling. Didn't catch a noodle with my noodle fish.
That's a good point. Yeah, if you order Chinese, you can do some noodling. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
You're just like, chow mein. Noodled.
Yeah. There you go.
Hashtag noodled. No, so yawning, they actually don't know what causes it. And they don't know.
Yawning?
Yawning. You were yawning, you were asking
Your
me.
brain is short on oxygen. That's why you yawn. They do know.
Actually, I haven't read that that's the fact. That's a speculation. But one of the other things they think it is that it's a survival mechanism from way back in the day. That you yawn to be the dominant one in the bride.
I am the dominant one.
Oh, okay. We are going to wrestle on this table right now. I will take you down.
You want that on film? I don't think you do. As I say to my kids when they're being naughty, this will not turn out well for you.
And then what do they say? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm just kidding.
It's so dark. This will not turn out well for you.
Well, it's a nice way to say it, right? You don't want to say anything too threatening.
Well, I guess that's what you say when you run out of, like, no being effective or don't or stuff.
I'm going to spank you! You don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Look, let's be honest. This isn't going to turn out well. Let's make a better choice.
Yeah, that's gutting. I can see that. It's a little bit like...
Gutting?
Yeah. No, it makes your gut go... Ooh.
Gut-wrenching.
I could see that as a kid being like, oh, I'm gonna switch that up.
Yeah. So what else is new?
No, nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. What else makes you interesting? If you asked somebody... If you ask somebody what makes you interesting, you got the outdoor stuff, you got the Pendleton stuff.
Does that make me interesting?
What else you got?
I'm not a basic bro, if that's what you're saying.
Okay, what else you got? What else is interesting?
What else?
Any other shows that want you?
Shows? Oh yeah, they're knocking on my door every day.
Okay. What shows? No shows. So what? I'm just giving you drama.
What else makes me interesting? Well, I had a tarantula for 12 years.
That's right. I still remember when that one lady, you brought the tarantula for the community zoo there, and that lady came through with her kid, and she said, "Oh, that's going to be yours," and you were like, "No, it's not." Do you not remember this?
No.
You really don't remember this?
I bought a tarantula in 2nd grade after I watched Arachnophobia to conquer my fear of spiders.
No, you didn't.
That's exactly why I did this. Promise you. I went to Scamps in Beaverton, Oregon, and I said, "Mom, Dad, I am afraid of spiders from that movie. To conquer my fear, I will buy a tarantula, so I will no longer be afraid of spiders." And I am more afraid of spiders now.
What age was that again?
2nd grade.
What age is that? Is that 6?
8.
8. So when you're 8 years old, you had the foresight to say, "I want to attack this head on."
Yes.
Well, I guess you've got your dad, who would be that kind of an influence.
Let's attack it. Sure.
So they said, "Yeah, let's go get arachnophobia, or let's go get a tarantula."
Let's get an arachnid with a side of arachnophobia. Yeah.
But you said you're more afraid now. Well, that's because you've had some spiders in your home before.
I hate spiders.
Why do you hate spiders?
Only thing I hate worse is great white sharks. Also, Jaws. Saw that at a young age.
Yeah.
Movies influence kids for the rest of their lives. Early age experiences. I had a black lab. Cinder. Should be a great swimmer. We took her for a run in Forest Park when she was very young. She fell into the water and literally did not come up for like 15 seconds. Something happened down there. And she was a terrible swimmer the rest of her life. She hated water.
Wow.
Early experiences can screw the rest of your life.
They can.
Early bad experiences.
Of course they can.
But on the opposite end, early great experiences can set the course for greatness.
This is so vanilla. What are you saying? Do you want to say something?
No.
No. So I met your tarantula. What was his name? What's his name? Rudy. And he lived on your bookshelf, and you fed him twice a year, wasn't it? Like, I remember it was very rarely.
I don't know.
I just remember they required...
Once a month, 12 crickets.
Oh, once a month. Okay. Just remembered it was very little that they... Why not more? Why don't tarantulas eat more?
They're opportunistic.
They got 8 legs.
They don't, like, live with a river of crickets running by. I mean, it's like...
So did it eat them quickly? Or did it take its time?
It would catch them quickly, and then it would slowly... and then suck out the blood.
Shut up.
Pretty gross. Fed him a wounded mole once that my cat had wounded. That's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Painful to watch. Fed him an earthworm once. Again, sucked it dry.
It's crazy.
It's pretty gross.
It's pretty gross.
Pretty gross.
It's kind of like the way I eat a burrito.
Pretty gross.
Pretty gross. Well, Mr. Patterson, appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Yeah?
Kirk Live.
Was that a fang? She just sucked the blood?
Yeah.
Oh my god.